Hey, thanks for joining. And I'm just cruising through El Paso right now on the 10 freeway. Got done watching Mags do another one of his very eloquent deliveries of his portions of his MacBook. It was really good. Watched him chat about other things. Well, I didn't really watch him. I was listening along. I'm freaking driving. But nobody else is going live, so I'm going to go live and we can chat. I can, as soon as my other phone gets charged and starts turning on, I can get the chat and I can start chatting a little bit. But yeah, it's 82 degrees. The skies are clear. Traffic light. Yeah, this is what I do. You know, I like to drive and listen to music, but I've been driving since Florida and I kind of got tired of all my music already, which is weird because I have my entire library on one little SD card. And I don't know, I guess I cycle through all of it and I'm not in the mood to listen to music. So I'm in the mood to chat. And of course, you're welcome to chat amongst yourself. And please do keep it positive. And if there's any trolling going on, I should have some mods that will kindly take care of them. The phone is still off. You know why? I know why it's off. I mentioned in my stream earlier today, it's a constant battle trying to keep your devices charged. So this is coming down south into El Paso, and it'll curve around. chat. Boy, this is slow internet. I'm not going slow, folks. It's 60 miles per hour speed limit through here. And I'm doing 65 and people are passing me like I'm standing still. Yeah. All right. I don't know why this drive reminds me of Vegas so much. It really does. You guys were chatting away. Hey, haha, hey. Mags, we are in El Paso. Hey, Birdie, welcome. Oh, yeah, Oreo and Taco Joe are doing such great work. Oh, that's weird. Oh no, this is doing it again. It's doing it again where it's going to sleep. I don't know how to stop it. All right. So you didn't hear that last 5 minutes when I was talking. Hey Mia, welcome. Yeah, man, I've been following Joe and Josh too. It's really good coverage. Thinking about going down to the border, but I just don't have the vehicle to do it. This thing bottoms out if there's just a couple of rocks in the road. The road that you have to go to down to that dike where the wall is, where the hole is, it's kind of rough. I know that just because I've watched Anthony Aguero drive it so many times. I watched Taco Joe and Oreo drive it. It's not. Right now I'm headed out west. I'm headed to Arizona. Be there for a while. I'll be back to Florida sometime, but I got some business to take care of in Arizona. Trust me, I'm not looking forward to it. I don't want to spend any time longer than I have to. My home is in Florida. How's the feet doing? looks good, right? Oh, shit. See? Stupid thing. I'm running up against. Yes, I want to join it. Okay, got new chat rolling in. Let's see, right here. Here's where you can see over pretty much into Mexico. Right off to the left here is where the border fence is. The freeway almost runs over the top of the border. And I think this exit here is where you would take and you would head off down to this like little weedy area, this water road area, southwest, and then you'll go and you'll hit the border. You'll find that border wall, that dike area. Actually, I think you got to go past this side of this mountain first. Going by UTEP, University of Texas at El Paso. Man, I remember growing up, they used to always play against my school team, University of Utah. They were a hard team to beat, man. They were always beating us. See, it went to sleep again. I don't know how to stop it from doing that. Yeah, Utah is beautiful in a lot of places. But the weather sucks. The weather's so much better in California and Florida. Cover some miles. El Paso is such a huge city. It always amazes me driving through here. Speeds up again when I pass him. new, chat? What's going on with everybody? The state of Texas. Yeah, it's huge. You can't get across Texas in one day. Yeah, you can drive 12 hours and still be in Texas. You can drive 14 hours and still be in Texas. And I've been across it enough times to know. I have even spent overnight in Houston and then tried to drive across Texas and make it across. Couldn't do it. Florida's huge too. It'll take you, 15 hours to get from the bottom all the way out west and get into Mobile. That's a long time. Florida's a big state. Did it again. I don't know how to stop the iPhone from going to sleep like that, unless I keep it plugged in. It's so ridiculous. It doesn't accept the YouTube app. The YouTube app is supposed to keep it, stop her from going to sleep. Every time I take my eye off of it, it's dark. It's not on low power mode. I remember I was fighting with this on my way back from Bunker Hill. It's like it just decides on its own to start doing that. I've about had it with the iPhone. I tell you, I'm never going to buy another one. Sketchy portion of the road. Get used to it. Oh, let me lift that up. Sorry. Maybe it has something to do with where the action is moving inside of the frame. Like, since I had a part of it focused on the hood, maybe it thought that, oh, you're not doing anything, so I'm just going to go to sleep. Haha, never been to Florida, huh? The weather is not as nice as LA in California, Southern California. LA weather, of course I'm talking about West LA, Malibu, that area. Only thing better than that is San Diego. This guy hit the gas as soon as I started to pass him. Okay, I'm back. I was forced to go to Pensacola. I want to go to Tampa. I might move there soon. But the problem with Tampa is the hurricanes. They seem to hit Tampa a lot more than they hit Pensacola and the western portion of Florida. It seems like there's in that hilly area in the bluffs, it seems like the storms bounce over it, jump over it, whatever. Go, 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 go. You want to see white sandy beaches, but I mean, it's pretty nice, and like Santa Monica and Huntington Beach. Frankly, guys, I lived out in LA for 14 years. I hate the beach. I hate it. It's not that I hate the sand or anything. I just hate dealing with the people. I've just had so many bad experiences out at the beach that I really never want to go back. It's like you know how when you get food poisoning at a restaurant and you never want to go back? So I had bad experiences just about every beach out in California. So go with people to the beach, right? That's fine. What I can't get is some of those people who say, I can only relax at the beach. I go to the beach and I read a book. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you relax? Well, it's a fight to get to the beach and parking. And once you get out, you got to deal with jerks out on the beach. People next to you being loud. Angry at you because you walked within 3 feet of them. I think one of those so-called peace-loving ladies is the one that yelled at me one time. You know, I'm sitting there walking across the beach trying to get to my towel, and she goes, could you not walk across my area here? And I'm looking down and she's got a book in her hand. I'm like, gee, I didn't even think about it because the beach is so crowded. Yeah, maybe it's just full of Democrats out there. I don't know. Who cares? Screw the beach. So what I'm doing is I'm touching the screen every 2 minutes to keep it from going to sleep. We'll see how it's like they say, like it or lump it. Well, we'll lump it and see how far that goes. Now we're headed pretty much northbound. Well, we're on the westbound 10, but we're headed up north towards Las Cruces, Mexico. You know, I was kind of waiting this afternoon when I was doing the stream. When I came into Eagle Point, there was a border patrol from the other side, from the people coming out. So I was waiting for that when I was leaving, and it never happened until about 5 minutes after I ended the stream today. Then I came upon that checkpoint, and I couldn't get my stream back up and running again. I wanted to stream me going through it so you guys would see. You know, we've all watched those streams with Taco Joe and Oreo. Those illegal immigrants come filing by the dozens straight from Mexico, straight over the border, and they're marched right into the NGO buses without so much as a pat down or a drug dog search. Yet when I was driving away from an American city on American soil, and I had to go through one of those border checkpoints, and they had a drug dog there, and a guy asking me, you know, are you a U.S. citizen? Do you have anybody else in your car? And I missed it. It was a golden opportunity to show how my rights, citizens' rights, are violated whilst laws are being broken and these illegals are given red carpet treatment to come into the country and invited in and bring in God knows what, explosives, drugs, cash, guns. You know, they didn't even have any metal detectors or anything like that. Like I said, no pat down, no drug dog search. Maybe they do it at the NGO place, you know, the processing center. But when you think about it, that's run by an NGO. So why would they even have any obligation to do that? The Border Patrol has no processes. They're hardly even involved. And that alone, no, I shouldn't say that alone. That was a glaring indication of the unfairness and illegalness of what's going on down there. That got my blood going today. I guess it's warm in the beaches, but I tell you, I have not been to the beach yet here in Florida. There in Florida, I'm not here. I'm not here in Florida. The one time I was trying to go to the beach about 3 weeks ago, I got invited down to it's the tip of the Pensacola Beach portion. And as you drive up west along that kind of like peninsula, you come up to this park, and it's like a national park or whatever, you know, run by the Parks Department. And I thought, okay, and so and here's my rant. My rant's beginning. It was angry because I felt like I was walking in to a gym, you know, and then being asked and shaken down for a gym membership. I'll drive up to the booth, and the guy looks at me and he goes, do you have a yearly pass? I said, no. He goes, are you military? And I go, no. He goes, okay. He goes, well, if you want to buy a yearly pass, it's $80. I can sell you a 2-week pass for $60, but if you just want a day pass, it's $40. I was like, no, dude. I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to leave. I mean, my God, $40 for a day pass just to get into a beach. Get into a park. That's ridiculous. I mean, I was thinking $10 is a lot of money just for a day pass. But $40 for a day? God, that got me angry. I passed a couple of parks today when I was on my way up from Eagle Point, and that's what reminded me of that. I was like, you know, it'd be nice to go down there and go into one of those parks and go around and do a live stream or just get some footage. But the damn Parks Department charges so much just for these stupid, you know, day passes. It's not fun. It's not cheap anymore. Not a cheap way to have fun. I did stop at the bridge where the road runs over the Pecos River, and the Pecos River empties. It looks like it empties into the Rio Grande and then goes down. Pecos River I don't know whether that's just where, you know, there's a lot of standing water where it was, but there was a gorge and the bridge runs right over it, and I got some nice footage in 4K. I'm going to edit that video and upload it. And that was a really nice view. I liked that. I couldn't do a live. I didn't want to do a live because I wanted to do it in 4K. And besides, the live, I couldn't even get cell signal when I was is going through that part of Texas. But yeah, keep your eye on my channel. I'm gonna upload that video. I have to edit it first. Editing takes so long. That's why most people are doing lives, because Fry TV he's done a couple of rants about that. You know, all the editing that you spend 10 hours editing a video, and you make it just right, and you add all kinds of effects and sound, and beginning and ending, either commentary or title screens and things like that. And then you look at the views, and you only get 100 views or something like that. And meanwhile, your lives, it's almost no effort. You just gotta go live and talk and yap and interact with your viewers and your environment around you, and you get hundreds and hundreds of views. It's a lot more return for your effort. But there still is a place for editing, because you can't produce that quality bit rate like 4K. Thanks, haha. Appreciate it. Yeah, haha, if you're still here, the Pacific Ocean is cold. It's a cold ocean. The Atlantic is warmer. The Gulf is much warmer. Yeah. There's a bunch of reasonings for that. I can't remember which they were. One of them had something to do with the water flows. The way the water flows, they come from the deep, right? The depths of the Pacific Ocean, and they come up like in eddies right at the Pacific side of North America. And so that's why the water is always so cold. I've got a wetsuit I was going to use the next time I got invited down to the beach to like do boogie boarding, or I always intended on learning how to surf, but then I found out how rude the people are, violent they are. Yeah, I chose not to even try. I'm just not the type of person who can get along with such an aggressive crowd of surfers, because I think they're some of the most terrible people out there. The definition of entitled assholes. Hey, how you doing? If you've just joined, I am driving on on the 10 freeway westbound. I've left El Paso and I'm headed west towards Las Cruces, New Mexico. I don't know how far I'll be able to get. I think I'll stop there in Las Cruces and get something to eat, and I'll most likely get sleepy and go to sleep for a couple hours. I don't think I'll make it to Albuquerque. No way. That's just too far. It's too boring. Yeah. That's like the coolest it's been on this whole trip. 73 degrees. That's weird. Why so cold? Actually less boring driving through here at night. All the lights and the headlights keep it interesting, stimulating for the eyes. Hey, thanks. Thanks, Linda. I don't give a shit if the enemy knows where I'm at. I've watched them confront other people. They don't, follow through with anything. I'm not daring them to step up to me, but I know how to handle myself. I'm not afraid of that. I deal with enough angry people. Frankly, I tend to get into enough arguments and confrontations in LA, in big cities, that I'm not worried too much if somebody comes up to me. Usually people get scared of stalkers. I've never been scared of stalkers because it's like, if somebody wants to follow me around and track my movements, hey, more power to them. One of the most hilarious things I saw was the stupid squirrels driving all the way across the United States and to try to scare Oreo, and he never knew they were there, but they filmed it on their channel, and then even the ring, Oreo's ring, confirmed that he saw their car and it paused at the corner, and they didn't even have the balls to go up and knock on his door. That was right there. That's indicative of the type of people who like to stalk and like to troll. So there's a lot worse things out there. There's hackers, there's identity thieves. Those people you need to be worried about. Like if you're talking about those people like Russian hackers and things like that. You know, if you get into a situation and you're online and you're chatting with someone and they go, you know, you're so-and-so, you live in Albuquerque, New Mexico on Peach Street, right? And you're like, and then they go, well, you use Comcast for your internet, huh? Well, have fun with no internet, and then they DDoS you. And then you got no internet for, you know, you're fighting with your network provider for days trying to get it fixed. That can mess you up. Yeah, sadly, that's one topic we can't really talk about much. I mean, but yeah, I know what you mean, Chris. I mean, frankly, that makes things worse. Carrying something with you and then getting into an argument. Really, the better course of action is to leave the area and not get into a physical or altercation with someone rather than let them drag you into it. I don't think of it as using your brain to avoid a fight. I think of it's mainly being smart enough to know when the situation can escalate to a level of rage. I'm not the best at it, but I have taken a lot of courses in supervision and how to manage employees and how to manage your own anger and particularly conflict management. And I remember in the book in conflict management, it talks about the stages of how severe an employee agreement can get, because employees, they're always getting into, you know, drama. Drama is kind of the natural state in a workplace. But when they start getting into, it starts escalating into pranks and then into verbal abuse. It'll just keep on escalating and escalating. You got to put a stop to it, because the natural end point of that kind of escalation, what is it? It escalates to the point where one of the people is either stopped or killed. That's the logical endpoint of an employee versus employee disagreement. And when I was reading that, I was like, wow. I don't know of any incident that's gotten that bad, but I guess that's what the book said. And that's what all conflict could end up in, you know. It can all escalate into assault and murder, homicide. It has to get pretty, I don't know. You know, you see a lot of videos coming out about like life in New York. That one guy, they had that video that went around on Reddit about that person who supposedly was a street performer, and I It's interesting how they don't have the footage of him yelling and screaming and acting in an insane manner, but they managed to get the footage of the guy who choked him out and then accidentally killed him. But I've seen enough videos about people screaming at each other on the subway to know that that sort of thing happens a lot. I'll tell you, I'll never take the subway. Dude, I'll never take public transportation. Yeah, Laura, we're on the road. And westbound on the I-10 freeway. See if you can see that right there. I don't know those cities, but we're headed towards Albuquerque. Laura, tonight it's just a hodgepodge chat / ask me anything / talk about anything, rant or otherwise. Just basically keeping each other company because there wasn't anybody streaming after Mags went offline. So I was like, okay, I'll go online. I'll keep people company and you keep me company. Because this is one boring stretch of road. Yeah, good to see you, Patricia. Thanks. Hey, Jay, welcome. Good to see you. Dude, I've been on the road for 2 days. Lost Cruises. You guys are good. We were chatting and I blew right past it. Patricia, yeah, I was trying to meet them because I thought they were moving around, but I couldn't figure out what their itinerary was, where they were going to be next. And I was thinking maybe they would go to Laredo, but I thought, maybe they're still in Eagle Point. So I was headed down towards Laredo, and then I made the decision and I cut off and I headed west to Eagle Point. And pretty much, yeah, we crossed paths right there. They were actually leaving Laredo at the time. But going the other way, it would have been way out of my way if I went down to Brownsville. And like I mentioned in my live today, my trip had zero planning, okay? I'm not one to make plans, which is why most of the stuff that I do is half-assed. It's thrown together. And I left San Antonio and I drove down and I headed into Eagle Point. And I didn't even know what I was going to talk about, what I was going to do. I just felt like I needed to get down to the border and get a feel for it. Kind of like when I went to Bunker Hill. I just knew I needed to get there and with my own eyes and look around, and then my own feet get out and walk around. Now since I was trying to look around for stuff, I totally missed 2 NGO buses were going the other direction when I was headed out of Eagle Point. And if I would have noticed that, I would have flipped around and followed them. And that would have been something interesting. I missed that. I didn't like Texas. I don't mind Texas, Arletta. I don't really have any ties there anymore. I had an uncle who lived there, and an aunt who was in Fort Worth. I visited her there. I liked San Antonio. I've been through there a couple of times. I love the river walk. I like the weather. The thing is, I cruised down to Yuma last year when I was coming back from DC, and I looked around. I kind of got spooked because I was driving down, and I mentioned this in my live stream earlier today too. I was driving down around the border, and then I came into the portion to where it seemed like I was right near the border. And suddenly the neighborhood changed. It all went to shit. And you know how it is. The roads got worse. Everywhere you go, if you go off the road, you're kind of afraid you're going to run over something and pop your tire. And I immediately realized, oh, I got to get the hell out of here. So I stopped cruising around Yuma and I left. Yeah, I ended up in the scary part of Yuma. But I also did another video, to plug my channel a bit. I did a nice little video of that bridge, the old bridge, going across the Colorado. See, here we are at another stupid checkpoint. See what they say, eh? This is what we gotta put up with. And the illegals get carte blanche, and we as citizens get harassed with these everywhere we go. You know, I'm basically getting an ocular pat down. If you sound off in the videos, if you know where that came from. You waved me through if you couldn't see that. So that's the first time I never rolled down my window. Usually I give him the courtesy, but he didn't bother to come out of his shack. I'm not going to roll down my window. Alright, did anybody get that reference? Ocular pat down. Nobody got it. Ugh. Chat, come on, man. I guess there's only 15 people watching. If there was 100, I guarantee somebody would have picked up on it. You know, I used to be so nervous. You know, to give you some background, I was very sheltered growing up. So when I encountered these things down here in California and down by the border, I was excited and both terrified by these things too. So when I moved down to LA and I was constantly having to go through these checkpoints, these border checkpoints, man, it was very nerve-wracking. I mean, I'm sitting there driving through a strange highway for the first time, and then I get, you know, you come into this area where there's people of authority, and when I grew up, we were taught to obey authority and respect authority, or otherwise there would be problems. Even though my dad taught me, don't give anybody the respect unless they earn it from you. Well, that doesn't go with cops. They require your respect, otherwise bad things will happen. And so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm thrust into a situation where there's people in uniforms, and they're asking me weird questions, and I kind of would freeze up. It would say, you know, they don't ask the same question every time, you know. Sometimes they ask you, where are you going? Sometimes they ask you, where are you coming from? And sometimes they ask you, like today, are you a U.S. citizen? Do you have anybody else in your car? You know. Nowadays, those questions just roll, the answers just roll off my tongue. But for those times in my early 20s, it was nerve-wracking. So that's why I have empathy for the people who are really angry about the situation of having to deal with checkpoints. I get it. So anyways, 15 people watching here. 11 people had dropped. They didn't like my rant. The term ocular pat down comes from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Because when Mac, he's so lazy at his job, he's supposed to be the bouncer. So like some people came in and they're like, he's like, they're okay. He's like, I'm so good at my job, and he's wearing sunglasses, and he's like, They're like, what are you doing wearing sunglasses? He goes, it helps me give him an ocular pat down. He's like, he's okay. He's like, you didn't even pat him down. So that's where that comes from. Yeah, Brownsville. Yeah, I saw that portion, Patricia, to where they got the jackpot to where that huge NGO facility that, and I was actually laying there commenting on the video at a rest stop, and that stuff cost, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars to set up that location to receive that many people and process them. And to have all those vehicles, all that staging equipment, all that border patrol support, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yeah, and I took screenshots even too of, that must have been at least 80 people standing in line. And border patrol standing there in uniform. Yeah, that was crazy. And I saw the other one, the earlier one. I didn't get to see it, but I heard them talking about the one earlier. It was either outside of Brownsville or outside of Laredo. They found a huge facility, all fenced in with plastic on the gate so you can't see in. And the buses were going in and out. That was a huge facility. And it's like Sheriff Villanueva said, ex-Sheriff Villanueva out of Los Angeles, they voted him out. Stupid people in Los Angeles voted him out. Villanueva, he said, the reason the homeless problem in Los Angeles and Skid Row won't get better is because of these NGOs. They're making, oh shit, my stupid, I gotta plug this in. Just like with this immigration issue in the border, they're making millions of dollars, through government, through the government dole, to keep these facilities running. And that's the same thing that's happening in Skid Row and Los Angeles. Is these NGOs are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars, and a lot of that is going to those CEOs of the NGOs and the high paid employees. What do you call them? The HCEs, highly compensated employees. They love that gravy train, so there's no incentivization to stop the root problem of homelessness on Skid Row. They just want to keep it going. The government and the local government and the state government will just keep giving them more and more money. And they do good, right? They help ease the people's suffering. They send people down there for care and give them food and water. But it's not enough, because the place is still a pigsty. So where's all that money going? The money's going into the pockets of the CEOs. And Villanueva, he says, yeah. He goes, NGOs with what? 50, 100 employees each. And they have one CEO making $800,000. And he goes, that's twice what I make. He says, when I was sheriff, he goes, and I managed an organization of what? how much did LA County sheriffs have? I don't know. It's like 40,000 people, right? But so yeah, how do these stupid CEOs of those organizations in Los Angeles, how do they rate $800,000 salaries? That's cronyism, and that's corruption. And that's why the more they keep throwing money at the homeless problem in Los Angeles, the more it'll never get better. And if you look at it in those terms, I mean, it's the same thing that's happening down here at the border. Those CEOs of that one, that VB, something like National American Aid, there's that one facility they were at today. You know, those CEO and his top aides, you know, they're getting, you know, millions of dollars in compensation, and it's just a big gravy train for them. They love it. You know, your poor schlubs driving the bus, you know, and handing out pamphlets. Those are the stool pigeons, right? You know, those are the sheep. They have their eyes closed because they're doing the bidding of their masters who are getting rich. And like Max said, they're getting rich off of human trafficking. And they're using these dumb sheep as their tools. And their dumb sheep are too meek to do anything about it. And then you got their minions who don't know any better. You know, like what happened today, the Border Patrol violating civil rights by challenging Joe and Josh for exposing this. Messed up world. Oh, Scott Baio. Oh yeah, forgive us for using improper language. The unhoused. I know, May 11th. Whoa, what's that? Something's going on out in the desert. I know, Patricia, but I'm talking about two different. It's the same thing. You have NGOs at the border helping the illegals, but you also have NGOs in downtown LA helping people out on Skid Row, the unhoused. See, NGO is just a non-governmental entity, and I mean, we should. I don't know if this is right. We should start exposing, like what Joe did today on his stream. He directed his camera right at their banner, and that's the organization. That's the real crooks. I can't remember what it was. If you look back on his video, you'll see it. It's like VV neighborhood or something. America Assist, whatever. That's an NGO, and that's its actual name. Okay, whatever the names are, the American Red Cross could be considered. You can consider that an NGO, and they're both helping the homeless down on Skid Row, and they're also handing out pamphlets to
people in South America, out in South America, and they're giving them aid and directing them, coaching them on how to come up through Mexico and come to our border. So yeah, you have NGOs all over the place. NGOs, alphabet agencies. We call them NGOs because they're not part of the government. But they've somehow managed to lodge themselves with grant money from the government through the Biden-Harris administration and the Obama-Harris, Obama-Biden policies. I'm sure there's some, that Trump has signed, and they've taken advantage of those. I mean, most of the presidents have been, every time they, sign a bill you think is good, it's got a lot of pork in it, and that's the money that they're getting. These NGOs are being able to take advantage of. The system is broke. It's so broke. Broken, I mean, not both, in all senses of the words. I mean, it's a broken system functionally. It's a broken system financially because it doesn't generate. It's just a black hole of finance. Hey, Rain in Blood, good to see you. Thanks. I don't know how Taco Joe runs around without getting stickers in his socks. Man, I spent 2 minutes walking around in the weeds in Texas, and I got all kinds of stickers in my socks. The Soviet Socialist States of America. What would that be in Russian? So, Russian USSR is what is the word for united? It's Soldeni, Sovietsky Sozialistische Republik. And the German letter for R is a P. That's why it's CCCP. The letter for S is a C. That's why it's CCCP, whereas we say USSR. And then, so it'd be Ameriki, Sovietsky, Sozialistische Ameriki Republik. That's what it would be in Russian. Shut up. It's getting late, huh? 12:12 here. 1 a.m. Eastern time. Rain and blood. The kids track them into your house. I remember that. So there was been in some social media going around. The kids today, they just sit in the house. They never go outside. Now when we were little, you know, you go outside and you stayed out all day long. Whether if it was, you know, rainy outside or hot or cold, whether you got hungry or thirsty, you dealt with it. You didn't go back in the house, because if you went back in the house, you might end up getting stuck in the house, right? You know, parents are always saying, in or out. You know, you can't keep coming in and out of the house. And except for meals. And then when one person says, yeah, it says that's why we drank out of the hose, because you didn't want to go inside for a drink of water. You get stuck inside, like doing the dishes or something. It's one of the reasons you drank out of the hose. In Arizona, yeah. That's right, because Arizona doesn't use daylight savings time, so they're on California time. Yeah, right. Rain and blood, no beer drinking, yeah. I've been trying to cut down. It's tough when you're working from home. When you get into the habit of it. I don't drink that much, but every time it goes, you know, it becomes about 6 or 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. I'm like, well, you know, I've worked hard. I'll drink a couple. And you do that over, you know, 2-3 days a week, and then on the weekends. It really affects the health and the beer belly. And other people don't help either. People I live with. Yeah. They enable my bad behavior all the time. Yeah, Arletta, I like driving because I've always liked driving, but the past couple of years I've been driving to places I've either never been or going on trips that are so far away, right? Because normally I'm the type of person I'll drive all the way down to Orange County from Los Angeles. I'm back. Yeah, it's dying. Come on. There it goes. Stupid dead zone. Thanks, Patricia. Have a good night. You guys have a good night. Yeah. Halfway across New Mexico. Just when you think about it, you're already halfway across by the time you leave El Paso. I'm sorry, I'm not. I always make that mistake. I'm not going to Albuquerque. My next target is Tucson, but I'm not going to make it. Everybody in chat, thank you for keeping me company. Hopefully you kept each other company too. So I think I'll end it. I gotta try to find something to eat and then go to sleep. My stomach is just gutted. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining in. I'm going to end it now, and I may do a live tomorrow. Depends on how busy the other streams are. I might be listening in to all the other live streamers. So if I don't talk to you tomorrow, have a nice Sunday, and I'll be trying to do more, trying to get more content, more interesting stuff. Want to try to do more patriotic things, do more for 1776 RM. So I keep saying that. You know how it is. I know how it is with everybody too. So we're all human. All right. Good night, everybody.